Welcome back, everybody. This is week 12 of social media marketing. And this week, it may feel like we're backtracking a little bit because we're going to talk a little bit about some general marketing theory, but it's because of how we're going to use it to combine with the particular assignment this week. So this week, we're going to focus on an important idea in marketing called corporate social responsibility, or CSR. This is a topic that you will cover in every marketing class of every kind you can take, or at least that has been my experience as I've continued on with my education. And we're going to couple it with the YouTube platform because that's how I wanted to incorporate it into the assignments. And so I wanted it to be all fresh and together in your mind. We're going to start with talking about corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is just a business approach that integrates social, environmental, and ethical concerns into everyday business operations and decision making. There was a time when business was all about just making money, and that's what people assumed of business, and that's all they asked of business. Modern consumers are much more concerned that the companies they interact with be ethical in various ways. And so I think that's great for us as a society that we are pushing businesses this way, and businesses are finding that it is very actually beneficial to them to focus on corporate social responsibility. And so it is something as a small business owner that you want to make sure that you bring into your own business. Now, CSR is commonly divided into four major categories. Obviously, there's subcategories, or you could break it down a different way, but these are sort of the four major ones. Environmental responsibility. Environmental responsibility focuses on reducing the organization's impact on the environment. Examples of that include reducing waste, conserving energy, lowering carbon emissions, using sustainable materials, and supporting recycling initiatives. Organizations that prioritize environmental responsibility seek ways to operate more sustainably while minimizing harm to natural resources. There is also ethical responsibility. Ethical responsibilities focuses on a lot on doing what is right for the people involved in your business, for your employees, for your customers, for your suppliers, and your communities. Examples of ethical responsibility in CSR include fair labor practices, safe working conditions, diversity and inclusion efforts, anti-corruption policies, honest communications with customers. Ethical businesses recognize that long-term success depends on treating stakeholders fairly and respectfully. There's also philanthropic responsibility. Philanthropic responsibility is like charity. Think of it that way, like giving to a charity. It involves giving back to communities through charitable activities. Examples of it include corporate donations that often is done by very large corporations and bigger businesses, but even small businesses. You can contribute something to your local library or a pet shelter, that type of thing. Community grants, scholarship programs. Some businesses are able to offer scholarships. Employee volunteer programs, that can be fun. You create some time, some space, maybe in the work week, once or twice a year, where you go out as a group, as employees, and you find a service project to do, and support for nonprofit organizations. And these efforts help organizations contribute to causes that improve society. And there's also economic responsibility. Economic responsibility focuses on balancing profitability with social impact. A responsible company seeks to generate profits. Of course, everybody that's in business is trying to generate profits. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. You're trying to make a living. You're trying to make money. That is the point of a business, unless it is a nonprofit, and that's in its own category. You're trying to generate profit, but it's also doing it while considering how its decisions affect employees, customers, communities, and the environment. The goal is sustainable growth that benefits both the organization and society. Corporate social responsibility has become increasingly important, like I talked about here at the beginning, because stakeholders, which is anybody who benefits or is a part of or is involved in a business, expect organizations to operate responsibly and transparently. So let's look at three major reasons why CSR matters. Consumers care. Number one, they care about company values. Modern consumers often research companies before making purchasing decisions. They want to make sure that your clothing is not made in sweatshops, that type of thing. The modern consumer is much more socially conscious than consumers of past generations. Many customers prefer to support organizations that demonstrate ethical behavior, that support environmental sustainability, that treat their employees fairly, that contribute positively to communities. Customers are also becoming more skilled, by the way, at identifying misleading marketing claims. That means organizations must support their CSR claims with genuine action, not just words, and measurable results, because authenticity is so critical. It is in social media and it is in all kinds of marketing, especially with this younger consumer. It's not just the consumers that it matters to, employees. Modern employees want purpose. Today's workforce is often looking in large numbers for more than just a paycheck. Employees want to work for organizations whose values align with their own. They want to be a part of something meaningful. They want to be a part of something that stands for something. Strong CSR programs can help organizations attract talented employees, improve employee engagement, increase job satisfaction, and reduce turnover. When employees feel connected to a meaningful mission, they're often more motivated and committed to their work. And investors and regulators pay attention. Investors increasingly evaluate how organizations manage social and environmental risks. Governments and regulatory agencies are introducing new requirements all the time related to environmental reporting, supply chain practices, human rights protections, corporate transparency. And as a small business, you may feel like, it doesn't affect me. I'm not going to get into all that. But you need to be aware of your supply chain and where things are coming from so that you are not inadvertently bringing sort of bad press, bad vibes into your business. You need to be aware. Organizations that proactively address these issues are often better positioned for long-term success because of all these shifts in society. And successful CSR programs go beyond one-time charitable events. They become part of an organization's overall strategy. It becomes part of your branding, part of what you're known for. Organizations should focus on causes that connect naturally to their expertise. That is something important. It will make it much easier for you in a small business if you don't just choose something out of the blue. I want to be a part of this organization and it has nothing to do with your business. For example, in larger businesses or in small businesses, a technology company could focus on digital literacy. A healthcare company could focus on community wellness. A food company could focus on sustainable agriculture. When CSR aligns with a company's already sort of natural strengths, it creates greater impact and credibility. People sort of believe, okay, I can see you being a part of that. I can see how that would be real to you and that you are actually investing in this. Make sure with CSR to be transparent. Transparency builds trust. No one wants to participate in your business because they believe you're doing this and then find out that you were just being a little shady and it wasn't real. You need to make sure that it's very clear what is happening. Organizations should openly communicate goals, progress, challenges, areas needing improving. If you have a goal to raise a certain amount of money or to be this much more sustainable, be sure if it's not reached, you explain what happened and outline future plans that demonstrate accountability, but that also stay positive about how we're all moving forward in a positive direction as a society. Make sure, especially in small business, to focus on your local community where you can. Global initiatives are so valuable, but people are often going to connect most strongly with efforts that improve their local communities. So as a small business, as a local business, you can focus on things like supporting local schools, improving community infrastructure, sponsoring workforce development programs, participating in community service projects. Local impact is often going to feel more personal and tangible to stakeholders. So now hold that in your mind, and we're going to shift our focus to YouTube. YouTube is huge. It is one of the most influential digital platforms available to marketers today. It serves multiple purposes simultaneously. It is a search engine. It is an educational platform. It is an entertainment platform. It is a community building platform. If you have kids, they're watching. There's videos for kids. There's videos for adults. There's videos that are definitely not for kids. There's all kinds of things on YouTube. This combination makes YouTube uniquely powerful for organizations. People use YouTube for all sorts of reasons. They search for tutorials, product reviews, educational content, entertainment, news and information. My grandson likes to watch other children play video games he could be playing himself. I don't necessarily understand it, but I see it happening, and I know that everyone is on YouTube. Unlike many social platforms, YouTube reaches users across virtually all age groups. The broad audience gives businesses opportunities to connect with customers at different stages of the buying process. And this is a good platform for getting you out there. Yes, we've talked about target market. Yes, we've talked about niche. Yes, it's important to brand for that. But YouTube is a place where you never know who's going to stumble across you. Successful YouTube marketers use both short-term and long-form content. Each format serves a different purpose. YouTube Shorts are brief, they're vertical videos that are designed for discovery. And their primary purpose is to reach new audiences, increase visibility, and generate interest. Successful shorts will capture attention immediately. We say that about every type of video content, but it is always true. You got to have that strong hook that brings them in immediately. Maybe ask some intriguing questions, get people thinking that will encourage engagement. Think of shorts on YouTube as the introduction to your brand. Now, long-form videos help build deeper relationships with viewers. These videos allow organizations to teach, explain, demonstrate expertise, tell stories. Long-form content is ideal for tutorials, product demonstrations, interviews, case studies, educational content, things of this sort. Think of long-form videos as opportunities to build your trust and credibility. Many people watch YouTube on televisions, tablets, and mobile devices. People watch YouTube on a variety of types of devices. So marketers should create content that looks professional and remains easy to view across different screen sizes. That is where you need to be a little conscious on YouTube. On most social media platforms, most people have their little cell phone. That's what they're watching you on. That's what they're engaging with you on. But YouTube, they may have a gigantic TV. So you may need to be sure that that it looks really good and it's still going to look good on the big screen. Be sure that you do that. Use community features. YouTube offers more than video uploads. The community tab allows organizations to share polls, images, updates, questions. These interactions help keep audiences engaged between video releases. This is the way you get people to when they subscribe to your page and they can interact with you even if you don't have a new video out. Be sure that you create sequential messaging. You can guide viewers through a content journey. For example, a viewer watches a short educational video and then that directs them to a longer video. If you are interested in this, there's more information here, that type of thing. Then they can receive follow-up content that encourages action. This process helps viewers to move from awareness to engagement and eventually to conversion. They've invested in your brand, they want to be a part of your brand, and they're more likely to buy your products or services. Now, this is how you can use YouTube to support specifically CSR, as we started talking about. One of YouTube's greatest strengths is the ability to show evidence because there are so much length you can put out there in the more long-form videos, because video is visual, audience can see your CSR efforts in action. Okay. Instead of simply announcing we're doing this charitable initiative, you can document the process and put that out on YouTube. Some examples of that might include community involvement improvement projects. Get a video of your business out there doing something for the community. Get a video of your business out there at a volunteer event, at a fair for kids, that type of thing. Get a video of your group picking up trash on the side of the road, doing some sort of environmental cleanup effort. Take a video of educational outreach programs. If you have a company that markets healthy foods, maybe do some educational videos helping young parents understand what is and is not healthy for their kids and how to incorporate fun and good tasting food into a more healthy diet. That type of thing, showing real people and real results help audiences connect emotionally with the organization's effort. Organizations can educate audiences about the issues they are addressing also through YouTube. It's an easy way to do it. For example, a recycling company could explain waste management challenges. A technology company could teach some digital safety. Here's how to not have your ID stolen, your identification stolen on the internet. A food company could discuss sustainable farming practices in big ways for big farms and also down to what you can do in your little crop of ground that you have in your yard. Educational content positions the organization as a trusted source of information because they see that you care enough not just to push your product, but to also make sure that you're finding ways to help them improve their lives and their families. Organizations on YouTube can partner with creators who already discuss social issues, sustainability, or community impact. You start to build those communities with other creators on YouTube. These partnerships can provide additional credibility because, again, we've talked about this in other modules. Audiences often trust independent voices more than what they see as a company. And that's going to allow creators to document and evaluate initiatives. This can help you create transparency and authenticity, which is so important in CSR. The one thing you do not want to be caught doing is faking your corporate social responsibility. That is a death knell to many businesses when it seemed to be a scandal that they were roping people in as if they were doing good in the world, and really it was just a marketing ploy. So be sure, I know all my students have better hearts and are better people than that, but be sure that anything you do is very authentic. Okay, there are instructions for your assignment in the module. It is a little more involved. I will tell you, YouTube is the one social media platform that you actually have to post to in this class. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One is because this is social media marketing. And I cut you some slack because I know everybody doesn't want to have a dozen platforms and all that and stuff coming at them. And how do I get off of this? And how do I get this off my phone? YouTube is easy to create a video on. It's easy to stay anonymous because it's such a big platform. And I found it to be relatively easy to delete once you are done. Once you've got a grade, if you don't want whatever you put out there on YouTube, you can delete it. Okay, but there's lots of information on how to help handle that in the module. Don't forget your quiz while you're working on your YouTube video. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any technical issues, any struggles. If you need help with this assignment, reach out to me. I am glad to help you. Have a great week, and I will see you in week 13.